As the initial shock of humanity's arrival began to fade, the curiosity of the alien civilizations turned into a deep and urgent need for answers. The aliens could not simply accept the humans' confident words without proof. Who were these? Beings claiming to have existed far longer than any known species in the galaxy? What secrets did they hold that could rewrite the history of the universe itself? To uncover the truth, the aliens decided to capture a small group of human explorers. These humans had been tasked with learning about alien cultures and establishing peaceful relations, but now they found themselves the subjects of intense scrutiny. The alien scientists and historians questioned them endlessly, searching for any hint of deception or hidden knowledge. The humans answered calmly, their voices steady despite the tension around them. They spoke of an ancient origin, one that stretched back tens of millions of years long before the rise of the great alien empires. This claim was shocking, almost unbelievable. Galactic historians rushed to investigate the records and artifacts they had gathered over the centuries, hoping to find some evidence to support or disprove these bold assertions. What they discovered was beyond anything they had imagined. Deep within the human homeworld, in secret places shielded from the modern cities, lay ruins and devices that defied explanation. Massive monuments carved from unknown materials stood, in perfect condition, yet their style and construction were unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Strange machines, dormant but intact, emitted faint signals that hinted at ancient technology far beyond the capabilities of current science. These artifacts were clearly millions of years old, yet their origin was unmistakably human. The discovery sent waves of shock through the academic and political communities across the galaxy. If humans were truly this old, they could not be newcomers or mere survivors of a young civilization. They were, in fact, the original elder species, the first beings to rise from the cosmic dust and build a society that would eventually influence the entire galaxy. This idea was so radical that many found it hard to accept. For centuries, alien races had believed themselves to be the oldest and wisest, guardians of knowledge and power. Now, that belief was challenged, forcing a reevaluation of everything. They thought they knew. Debates raged in councils and academies, as factions formed around different interpretations of the evidence. Some aliens embraced the new understanding, eager to learn from the humans and share in their ancient wisdom. Others reacted with fear and suspicion, worried that humanity's return meant a shift in the balance of power that could threaten their own survival. The humans, however, remained calm throughout the turmoil. They offered to share what they could of their history, though much remained hidden even to themselves, lost in the mists of time. They explained that their ancestors had once ruled vast empires, building networks of knowledge and technology across countless star systems. But millennia ago, a great cataclysm had shattered their civilizations, forcing survivors to scatter and rebuild from the ashes. Over time, they had deliberately kept a low profile, allowing other species to rise while quietly preserving their ancient legacy. Now, with the galaxy facing new challenges, humans believed it was time to step forward once again, not to conquer, but to guide and protect. This declaration added another layer of complexity to the unfolding story. The aliens could sense that humanity's power was not just in their technology, but in their endurance and vision. Their long history had taught them patience and strategy, and they seemed ready to play a new role on the galactic stage. As more ancient human artifacts were uncovered, the picture grew clearer and more astonishing. Each discovery revealed new details about forgotten eras, lost wars, and incredible achievements in science and philosophy. The aliens found themselves humbled by the vastness of human history, the quiet strength that had carried them through so many trials. Suspense filled the air as the galaxy waited to see what humans would do next. and how the other species would respond to this unprecedented revelation. Would the ancient human legacy become a source of unity or conflict? The answer remained unknown, but one thing was certain. The past they thought was written in stone was now being rewritten by the surprising truth of humanity's true origins. As the alien leaders grappled with the stunning revelations about humanity's ancient past, the humans began to open windows into their long and complex history. Slowly, carefully, they revealed fragments of civilizations that had risen to great heights before fading into mystery. These were not simple tales of conquest and war, but stories of creation, exploration, and stewardship. The humans explained how their ancestors had spread across countless star systems, not to conquer or destroy, but to plant the seeds of life and culture, guiding the growth of new worlds and species with subtle influence. This was a revelation that challenged everything the aliens had believed about the natural order of the galaxy. Unlike many alien races focused solely on expansion or domination, humans had chosen a different path, one of quiet guardianship, protecting the delicate balance between planets and civilizations. Over millions of years, they had learned to adapt, not just through technology, but through creativity and resilience, facing disasters and setbacks that would have crushed lesser beings. This adaptability was not accidental. It was the result of evolution over vast stretches of time, a deep wisdom that had become part of human nature itself. The alien historians and philosophers who studied these accounts were struck by the depth and scope of human influence. The marks humans left were not obvious like the ruins of great empires, but subtle, hidden in the genetic codes of species, woven into the patterns of ecosystems, and encrypted in ancient relics scattered across the stars. Wherever the humans had traveled, they had left behind a legacy that shaped the development of life and culture in ways the aliens were only beginning to understand. This made the humans far more than a newcomer to the galactic stage. They were, in fact, the original architects of much of what the galaxy had become. Slowly, the truth settled into the minds of alien leaders. Humanity was not just another species to be studied or conquered. They were the foundation upon which many civilizations had been built. This realization brought a mix of awe, respect, and fear. If humans had been guiding the galaxy from the shadows for millions of years, what might their plans be now that they were revealed? Some alien factions began to fear that humanity might assert control, using their ancient wisdom and advanced technology to dominate others. But the humans dismissed such fears, explaining that their purpose had never been conquest. Instead, they emphasized their commitment to balance, peace, and growth for all species. Their legacy was one of patience and care, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves and help the galaxy face new challenges. The tension between suspicion and hope filled the halls of alien councils and forums, where debates raged over how to respond to humanity's return. Yet beneath the uncertainty, a new sense of possibility began to emerge. The galaxy had long suffered from conflicts, born of mistrust and rivalry, but now there was a chance for unity, grounded in the shared recognition of a common past. The human stories of ancient alliances and forgotten collaborations hinted at a time when many species had worked together toward a greater good, a time the galaxy might strive to return to. As the humans shared more of their history, it became clear that their strength lay not only in their long existence, but also in their values, resilience, creativity, and a willingness to learn and adapt. These qualities had allowed humanity to survive cataclysms that had erased entire civilizations and to rebuild again and again with renewed purpose. The aliens began to see that humans were more than warriors or conquerors. They were teachers, explorers, and protectors. This new understanding reshaped the way the galaxy viewed itself. The humans had helped shape the destinies of many worlds, often without anyone realizing it. Their legacy was hidden but powerful, woven into the very fabric of life across the stars. And now, as humans stood openly among the alien species, their presence promised a future where the lessons of the past could guide the galaxy toward peace and progress. The arrival of humanity marked not just the discovery of an ancient race, but the chance to reclaim a forgotten heritage, one where cooperation and respect were the keys to survival. The galaxy waited in suspense, eager to see how this new chapter would unfold and what role humans would play as the original elder species, the architects of the universe's shared destiny. The revelation of humanity's ancient and powerful legacy sent shockwaves through the galaxy, forcing every alien faction to rethink their positions and strategies. For centuries, they had planned their politics and military moves with the belief that they held the upper hand in the cosmic game of power. Now, faced with the undeniable truth that humans were the original elder species, their perspective shifted dramatically. Some of the more cautious and thoughtful alien leaders saw this as an opportunity rather than a threat. They approached humanity with offers of alliance, eager to learn from the deep wisdom and experience that humans carried within them. These factions understood that cooperation with the humans could unlock knowledge and technology lost to time. Knowledge that might help them solve problems that had plagued their civilizations for generations. A hope that by standing beside humans, they could rise together to a new level of understanding and peace. But not all aliens were ready to welcome this change with open arms. Some feared the quiet strength of humanity the way they had survived and thrived over millions of years without drawing attention or declaring dominance. To these factions, humanity's patience and calm were not signs of peace, but of hidden power waiting to be unleashed. They worried that humans might use their ancient wisdom and superior technology to take control of the galaxy, turning once independent species into subjects under human rule. In secret meetings and shadowed councils, these groups began to plot ways to undermine humanity's influence before it could grow too strong. They spread rumors and sowed distrust among other species, hoping to isolate humans and weaken their position. The galaxy was divided between those who saw humanity as a guiding light and those who saw them as a looming storm. In the midst of this rising tension, the humans made a surprising and bold move. Instead of responding with force or demands, they proposed the creation of a new galactic council, an assembly that would include representatives from all elder species, including themselves. This council would not be about domination or control, but about respect for the shared legacy of the galaxy's oldest civilizations. Humans invited all species, friend and foe alike, to join in this effort to foster cooperation and peace. The proposal sparked both hope and skepticism. Some saw it as a chance to finally end centuries of conflict and mistrust, to build a future based on mutual respect and understanding. Others doubted that ancient rivalries and fears could be set aside so easily. The idea of a council where every species had a voice was new and untested. Many wondered if such an alliance could hold against the pressures of power and ambition. As the discussions about the council unfolded, humans demonstrated their commitment by sharing more of their history and knowledge openly, showing no desire to claim superiority or demand special treatment. Their humility and vision impressed many, shifting opinions and softening hostility in unexpected places. Slowly, the idea of the Galactic Council began to take shape, a symbol of hope in a galaxy long divided. Yet, beneath the surface, the struggle for influence and survival continued. Some factions prepared quietly, strengthening their defenses and seeking secret allies in case the council failed. The humans, aware of these undercurrents, continued to call for dialogue and transparency, believing that only through openness could the galaxy move forward. The suspense grew with each passing day, as every species waited to see if this new path would lead to lasting peace or renewed conflict. The story of humanity's return had shifted from discovery to decision, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The coming days would test the courage, wisdom, and patience of all beings, as they faced a reckoning that could change the universe forever. Would the elder species unite under the banner of cooperation, or would old fears and ambitions tear them apart once more? The answer was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The galaxy was no longer the same, and the legacy of the humans, the original architects, would shape its future in ways no one could yet imagine. With the founding of the new Galactic Council, a wave of change began to sweep across the stars, transforming the very fabric of the galaxy itself. The long-held rivalries and distrust that had once torn civilizations apart slowly began to soften, as more and more species recognized the truth humans had uncovered, that beneath their differences, they shared a common heritage. This realization struck a chord deep within the hearts of many, awakening a sense of unity that had seemed impossible for millennia. For the first time in countless cycles, species once divided by ancient grudges and territorial disputes found themselves looking at one another not as enemies, but as parts of a greater whole. The humans, who had revealed this shared legacy, did not rule with an iron fist or demand loyalty. Instead, they led by example, showing the galaxy what it meant to balance strength with compassion, power with responsibility. Their technology, refined over millions of years, was shared freely in ways that respected the independence and culture of every civilization. Human diplomats worked tirelessly alongside alien representatives, using their long experience in conflict resolution to build bridges where none had existed before. Each meeting of the Galactic Council became a step forward, where difficult conversations gave way to understanding, and new agreements promised peace rather than war. The technological advances sparked by this collaboration were remarkable. Scientists from many worlds joined forces to solve problems that had once seemed insurmountable: energy shortages, disease, and environmental collapse. Human insight into adaptive technologies, born from their history of survival and reinvention, inspired breakthroughs that elevated all species. Innovations in communication, transportation, and medicine spread rapidly, creating new opportunities for trade and cultural exchange. Yet, even as progress flourished, the galaxy remained aware of the fragile nature of this new peace. Old fears and ambitions did not disappear overnight. Some factions watched cautiously, waiting to see if the Council could withstand challenges from those who preferred chaos over cooperation. However, the steady leadership of the humans, combined with the growing trust among Council members, helped to keep tensions in check. The shared knowledge of humanity's place as the original elder species became a powerful symbol of hope. It reminded everyone that survival depended not on domination, but on working together for the common good. This shared vision began to inspire new generations across the galaxy, young beings who dreamed not of conquest, but of exploration, discovery, and building a future that honored the lessons of the past. As the years passed, stories of the old rivalries faded into history, replaced by legends of cooperation and joint achievements. The galaxy entered an era where diplomacy and technology moved hand in hand, where disputes were settled through dialogue and understanding rather than weapons. The human presence was no longer seen as an enigma or threat, but as a foundation stone upon which a new galactic society was being built. Even species that had once doubted or feared humanity found themselves drawn into this new order, recognizing that the strength of the whole galaxy was far greater than the sum of its parts. The transformation was not without challenges. Conflicts still arose, and old wounds sometimes reopened, but the willingness of species to come together in the spirit of the Council ensured that peace would prevail more often than not. The galaxy's future no longer seemed written by force or fear, but by cooperation and hope. This new era was a testament to the enduring qualities that had allowed humans to survive and thrive for millions of years: their resilience, creativity, and belief in the power of unity. It was a reminder that even in the vast and often hostile universe, there was room for peace and progress when beings chose to see themselves not as isolated rivals, but as members of a shared family. The story of humanity's return had come full circle, from a mysterious arrival that shook the foundations of galactic history to a beacon of hope that guided the stars toward a brighter future. The galaxy was entering a time of collective growth, where every species could contribute to a common destiny. And as the stars shone brightly above, they reflected the new light of cooperation, a light born from the legacy of the original elder species, the humans, whose quiet strength and vision had opened the door to a future filled with possibility and peace.